All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krueg Show with a little 49er video as we're making our way back from Scottsdale and spring training. And the news has come across that the Los Angeles Chargers have opted to release Joey Bosa, making the 29-year-old defensive end a free agent. And immediately, the Niner conversations are going to start. Joey Bosa joining Nick Bosa in San Francisco. How viable is it? Should the Niners be interested? Should they pass? Well, there's a lot of ways to look at this. One, the 49ers undoubtedly are looking for an edge rusher to add to Nick Bosa. They're looking to bolster their defensive line significantly this offseason. But John Lynch also stated that they want to get younger and cheaper. And going after Joey Bosa generally, I think, would be the opposite of younger and cheaper. That would be older and more expensive. But we don't know what his price tag is going to be. And we don't know how motivated he is to play with his brother. Maybe Joey, John Bosa and Cheryl Bosa and Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa have always dreamed of having Joey and Nick play together. And maybe Joey's made a lot of money in his career. He's probably made $150 million or more just on the field alone. So, does he need to make huge money in his final contract in the NFL? I heard some people suggest that he might play 5 years or 6 years more, and that's just preposterous. Nick Bosa, or Joey Bosa is probably going to wind up playing 3 more years, 2 at a pretty high level, and maybe 1 more just as a swan song. But I would say he's got 2 to 3 years left, maybe 4 if his foot injuries. That's the other thing. I'm very concerned about the injuries he's had to the feet. Foot injuries on 285-pound defensive ends generally don't get better. They get worse over time. So I'd want a full medical breakdown of exactly where Joey Bosa is physically. Can he even play? And then, going forward. The Chargers said goodbye after a year where, he really wasn't very productive against the pass. He's still a top 20 defensive end against the run. And PFF, I think, rated him 18th overall against the run as among defensive ends. So he's a good run defender. He'll set the edge. I think him and Nick on the same team is going to have a good effect on both those guys because they'll push each other. They're competitive. They're competitive with one another. And I think Joey Bosa would be, a really good complement to Nick on the other end. And I think, it would give the Niners a good run defender. And I think it would also motivate both of the Bosa brothers to have productive seasons. But this is a move that you do in addition to bolstering your defensive line in the draft, not instead of. If this is like, hey, a lot of these defensive ends are, without even knowing, I just know it's an instead of situation. Myles Garrett, it's like, do you want to draft guys or do you want to trade all your picks for Myles Garrett? Trey Hendrickson. Do you want to draft guys to replace who are the next Trey Hendrickson, or do you want to trade multiple draft choices, including some day 2 picks, to the Bengals for Trey Hendrickson? I just think when you listen to John Lynch, it's pretty clear the 49ers are trying to get younger and cheaper. They're not going to be trading away draft picks. If anything, they're going to be trading for more draft picks. They'll be trading back in the draft, not up in the draft. And I do think that they're looking for volume. They're looking for a 15 to 20 person draft class when you include all the players they draft in addition to the players they signed as undrafted free agents after the draft. So, as far as do I like Joey Bosa instead of, Olufemi Oladejo? No. But do I like Joey Bosa in addition to, a draft where the Niners take, 4 or 5 defensive linemen, whether they be defensive tackles or defensive ends, I think he does fit. I think there's a lot of things that would make him a good fit. I think he'll play the run well. I think he'd be properly motivated playing with his brother. The question really is just what's he looking for financially? If he's looking to be paid like the player that he's been the last few years, it's a non-starter. This guy made $34 million. The 49ers don't have that kind of money to throw him, especially at his advanced age. And so if he's looking for real veteran, NFL money, I don't think it's a fit. But if he's willing to give the Niners, a brotherly discount because it's been his dream to play with Nick Bosa, and, if that's the case, then I think, there's some usefulness there. He's an underrated player. I think in this situation, he could be really, really good. And I think he's a player that has, as I said, 2 or 3 years left. This idea that he's got 5 or 6 years left is preposterous. But he's got 2 or 3 good years left. And if they signed him to a 2-year deal for $20 million and they gave him $10 million a year for 2 years, I think they can afford to do that. I think even though that would be more than I'd want to spend, I think that would be, commensurate with what he can contribute. So overall, I would say it's definitely interesting. A lot of the casual fans are going to run to it because, hey, it's a big name. And they, if you say Oladejo, you got to know who Oladejo is. If you say Nick Bosa, everybody, or Joey Bosa, everybody knows who Joey Bosa is. So it's going to be very popular among the hey, get this guy, he's a veteran name crowd. But it doesn't preclude you from building up your defensive line in the draft. And I do like the idea of Nick and Joey competing with one another. I think he would be an excellent first and second down defender off the edge. And I think on third downs, you could move Joey Bosa inside and let him play defensive tackle. That's what I see. I see, maybe you draft an Oladejo and you sign a Joey Bosa and you play Joey Bosa on first and second down as an edge rusher, and then on third downs, with a bigger tackle in the middle. Then on third downs, Joey Bosa jumps inside and Oladejo jumps in outside, and now you've got Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Olufemi Oladejo, and a fourth guy going at the quarterback, and I think that could be really successful. So I like Joey Bosa, the idea of Joey Bosa with the Niners. I like the idea of the Bosa brothers playing together. I like the idea of Bosa, Joey Bosa playing inside on as a defensive tackle on some key third downs, and getting more of kind of the NASCAR package, if you will, where the Niners used Arden Key a few years ago as a defensive tackle. I think Joey Bosa could do an incredible job there. I like the fact that he's strong against the run, and I don't see a lot of downside. But if he's looking for, hey, let's get multiple bidders and play teams off of one another, I don't see the Niners at being at that point in their history. They're looking at this point to. Hey, now. What the hell? They're looking at this point to go cheaper, younger, healthier. Joey Bosa wouldn't necessarily fit what they're looking for, except for the fact that he possibly could give them a discount because he has made a lot of money. It may be his dream to play with his brother. It may be his family's dream to have the brothers play together. If he's willing to give the 49ers a significant discount because he wants to play with his brother, I think I would do it. Anything where you've got to pay him anything even approaching north of, $12 million a year, I would pass and go with the younger guy. So there you go. That's the latest. Joey Bosa cut by the Chargers. There'll be all kinds of people speculating throughout the next couple days about his ability, his desire and fit with the 49ers. I think scheme-wise, it's a fit. I think culture-wise, it's a fit. I think it's going to be a great thing for Joey and Nick to play together for the competition. I just don't know if he fits the Niners younger, cheaper, healthier. He's older, expensive, and injury-ridden. But if he's willing to take a significant hometown discount, or I should say, family discount, I think the Niners can get beyond those other elements.
All right. Krueg Show in the car. Peace out.